Snow cracked beneath my boots, and my scream echoed through the silent woods. Emily, my 7-year-old daughter, was sinking beneath a frozen creek. The icy water swallowed her cries as I stumbled forward, helpless and too far away. Laura collapsed to her knees, begging for someone, anyone, to help. And then, Shadow, our Siberian Husky, charged into the storm, leaping toward the breaking ice. My name is Michael Harris, and I live with my wife Laura, our daughter Emily, and our dog Shadow in Boulder, Colorado. We're an ordinary American family who loves the outdoors, especially in winter. Shadow, with his thick gray and white coat and piercing blue eyes, was always more than a pet. He was family, our protector, our companion, Emily's best friend. We never imagined he would one day save us in ways we could never repay. Shadow wasn't just a dog. He was Emily's guardian angel in fur. Every morning, he followed her to the bus stop, his tail high and proud. Every night, he curled at the foot of her bed, ears twitching at every sound. Emily told her friends, "Shadow understands me better than anyone else." And maybe she was right. That weekend, we drove up into the Rocky Mountains for a short family trip. The snow had fallen heavy the night before, blanketing the forest in white silence. Emily laughed as she pressed her mittened hands against the frosty windows. Laura hummed softly, sipping coffee from a thermos. And Shadow barked from the back seat, eager for the adventure. We rented a small wooden cabin tucked near the base of the mountains. It looked like something out of a postcard. Chimney smoking, snowflakes drifting down. Emily rushed out, tumbling into the snow with a squeal of joy. Shadow bounded after her, paws sinking into the powder, tail wagging furiously. I remember smiling, not knowing how quickly that smile would vanish. Later that afternoon, Emily begged to explore the forest trail near the cabin. Laura and I bundled up, following as Shadow padded confidently ahead. The trees loomed tall, branches heavy with icicles. Emily threw snowballs at Shadow, who leapt and snapped playfully at them. It was the perfect family walk, until the trail veered toward the creek. The creek was half frozen, its surface thin and dangerous. Emily, curious as ever, stepped closer despite my warning. The ice groaned beneath her boots, cracking faintly in the silence. Laura shouted for her to step back, panic edging her voice. But Emily's giggles drowned out our fear. In a heartbeat, the world shattered. The ice beneath Emily gave way with a loud crack. Her small body plunged into the freezing black water below. Her scream was muffled by the splash as icy shards closed over her. I felt my heart stop. I was too far to reach her in time. Laura dropped to her knees, her hands trembling as she reached out uselessly. My boots slid across the snow as I sprinted, but every step felt too slow. Emily's red scarf bobbed once above the water and then disappeared. "No!" I screamed, my voice tearing against the silence. The creek swallowed her whole, and the cold stole our hope. Before I could think, Shadow bolted past me. His powerful legs tore through the snow, his fur a streak of gray and white. He didn't hesitate. He launched himself onto the cracking ice. The surface split, plunging him straight into the frozen water. But unlike us, Shadow didn't freeze, he dove. I saw him thrash beneath the surface, a blur of fur and bubbles. Emily's jacket floated up, her tiny arms flailing weakly. Shadow grabbed hold of her coat with his jaws, refusing to let go. The water churned as he fought against the current, dragging her upward. For seconds that felt like eternity. I thought I would lose them both. Then, he burst through, hauling Emily back into the freezing air. She coughed, sputtering, clinging to his thick fur. Shadow paddled desperately, pushing her toward the broken edge of ice. Laura screamed encouragement, reaching out as far as she could. And finally, Shadow shoved Emily up onto the snow. I fell to my knees, pulling Emily into my arms. Her lips were blue, her tiny body shivering violently. But she was breathing alive. Laura wrapped her coat around her, sobbing into her daughter's wet hair. Behind us, Shadow dragged himself out of the icy water, trembling but unbroken. We rushed Emily back to the cabin, laying her near the fireplace. I called 911 with shaking hands as Laura rubbed her daughter's arms. Shadow collapsed on the rug, his chest rising and falling in exhaustion. Emily reached out with a weak, trembling hand, whispering, "Good boy, Shadow," and his tail thumped softly against the floor. By morning, news of Shadow's bravery had spread across Boulder. Reporters crowded outside our cabin, eager to meet the hero husky. The local sheriff shook my hand, saying, "That dog saved your daughter's life." Emily proudly showed off her hero, hugging his neck tightly, and Shadow stood tall, unaware of the world's applause. Weeks later at City Hall, Shadow received a medal from the mayor himself. Children clapped, adults cheered, and Emily beamed with pride. The medal gleamed against his thick fur, but his eyes never left our family. Because for Shadow, no crowd, no award, no applause mattered. What mattered was Emily's safety. Heroes don't always walk on two legs. Sometimes they come with paws, fur, and unshakable loyalty. Shadow wasn't just our husky. He was our protector, our miracle, our family. If this story touched you, you're not alone. At Loyal Voice, we bring you true emotional tales that deserve to be heard. Like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss the next story.